Good morning, everybody.
Come on home and let yourself heal.
Can you hear me and see me?
Sleep for 1,000 years. Now let you disappear. Let your
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Debbie. All right. I'm not echoing, right? Because I have the second screen up. It's a little bigger. Okay. Let's get started. Go up a little bit. Will my heart procedure later this month go well for me? What do we need to know about your heart procedure? Devil in reverse is a good sign. 5 of Wands in reverse is another one. Wheel of Fortune, yeah, I feel like it's going to go well. I actually feel like this is kind of reading better than expected. But I don't feel like that's with the surgery. I feel like that's with the healing. Like maybe there's something you're worried about in the healing that isn't going to be as either time consuming or straining than anticipated. My sister's feelings towards me now. I know about your sister's feelings towards you. Kind of feels like I'm in a state of avoidance because I know I was wrong. I'm trying to get away from an issue to reestablish balance by bringing light or love to the situation in some way, but like it doesn't feel like that's external. It's like an internal realization that I'm wrong is kind of how that feels. Was there anything my mom wanted to say or express before she left? Is there anything my mom wanted to say or express before she left? Ten of Cups being reversed would make me feel like there's this desire to say, like, to lean on one another and let anything that may have been tense in the past between family members or connections kind of go to the wayside and allow that to fall away. Ace of Pentacles would be a new opportunity for Ace of Cups love. So it's like, I guess I'd say if she had to say anything, it would be to let any tensions fall away because, you know, I guess the realization of life being as short as it is would kind of be what would go with that message. Ask me that question again next week because I'm going to have my new mediumship deck and I keep thinking of that deck right now. So I feel like there may be something in there. So ask me that again next week. I have felt my Granny Margaret around a lot lately. Is it her and what message does she have? Is it her and what message does she have? Pushing you towards some kind of action. Ace of Pentacles, I would say it's her, the one offering you a push towards some kind of action that needs to be produced from a period of inaction or frustration. Message for guidance and a song from my deceased paternal grandmother, Rose. One second. Playlist. Changes by David Bowie, 2015, may be significant. Message and guidance. There's a need to identify where the stress is coming from and figure out a way to create a path away from it. It's almost like this feeling if you can't change the situation, change your approach to the situation. This kind of feels like guidance of that. It feels like you've done everything you can to produce changes in one way, and now it's time to shift the way you're handling it because the situation itself can't be shifted. What will happen between me and R? What will happen between me and R? I feel like there's distance here. There's a lack of reciprocated back and forth, like we're both not trying the same way, and it's creating more and more distance instead of closeness. It may be a need to kind of take something from a different approach. if that's not what you want to happen. What are my guides trying to tell me lately? What are my guides trying to tell me lately? Something's harder than it has to be. Something tied to acting out of an emotional response instead of like a calm, thought out, logical one. Something's harder than it needs to be, and you're trying to be shown how to correct the approach to it. Message from mom. Message from mom. You're the only one who knows exactly what it is that you're feeling kind of pulled towards internally. There's this need to understand that sometimes it's difficult for others to understand you, but in those cases, there's this need to kind of step up for yourself a little bit more. Almost like needing to trust that your internal guidance is leading you towards a solution and not just towards more problems for no reason. If you're going through more internal thought bubbles of like needing to unpack things, it's not a punishment. It's you're going in the direction of a solution. And I'd say kind of like fiercely represent to others what it is that you know you need for yourself right now is how I would word that. Has my mom reunited with family members and her husband in spirit? Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Three of Swords. Specifically, I've regrounded myself. This feels like amends. Would there be someone that there may have been like unfinished tension left behind? This is like, I'm now separated from any tenseness or discontent within these connections. Queen of Pentacles would be the home life and grounded. So it's like, I'm with these people, but it's different now. There's no tension. I'm independent. I'm separated from any tension that previously came from these relationships. So I would say yes. Message from Jeff and a song. Message from Jeff and a song. So I was going to change it to the other playlist, but I had Sad Still by Quinn XCII come up. And it has like hands kind of offering something, like dirt falling through the hands. There's a need to address a shifting of perspective. It's like, it's kind of giving me the energy of I'm in a room and I'm kind of scared to turn the lights on because I don't know what I'm going to see, but I know it's time to turn the lights on in this room. It feels like there's encouragement towards that in this message. Any message from my mom and a song. Peaceful, Easy Feeling by the Eagles. 2013 may be significant. There's something you're planning, or there's like a blueprint of a plan, or there's thought of the creation of some kind of plan for change. There's encouragement here to keep down that path. It's like needing to trust that the way you're being led is for a purpose right now. And it feels like you're in the planning stages of something, and she's encouraging you towards getting into the action stage of the plans, like the green light or the thumbs up. Message and a song for this week. The Architect by Casey Musgraves. And I almost said The Alchemist by accident. The Architect and the Alchemist. Pattern recognition seems to be important. It's like there's something that you may be looking over, not realizing the significance of where it's trying to lead you. And it's like right within grasp, but there's maybe certain signs being ignored. So there's pattern recognition going to be in play. The Architect and the Alchemist. It's like trying to be shown where there can be a solution for stagnancy. Will the house sell this month? Will the house sell this month? I wouldn't say this month. Not this month. 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords. What's holding you back? 3 of Pentacles. Is there a different way to like, I feel like not this month, but there's a way to speed it up, but it has something to do with like either who you're using to represent or the strategy that they're using. It's not that it's not going to happen, but there's a way to make it happen quicker. Any info you can tell me about the items found by my deck in the backyard? Found by my deck in the backyard. Kind of feels like something someone drops. Pieces of a whole. Something someone drops, pieces of a whole. There's some kind of symbolism in what it is, though. Like it's of no consequence to who dropped it, but it's supposed to be something symbolic for you. It's meant to be pieces of a puzzle or like a confirmation of understanding of pieces of a puzzle. Message and guidance and a song from my spirit guides. True Colors by Exo Cupid is the song. There's a need to trust your intuition as it pertains to someone who has some kind of position, either like in authority or like, I guess it's like typically I should respect this person's opinion because they know more, but something in me is saying otherwise, and I need to listen to myself in this case. It's that. You trust that you're seeing the right perspective. Why did that not come up? Will the new doctor work well for me, and will he be able to help my hormone situation? Will he work well and be able to help the hormone situation? Work well, yes. Be able to solve it, not all the way. Be able to help it, like help the symptoms slow down impacting you. Okay, so it's like, think of a wave pool. Right now there's a wave pool. He helps slow down the wave pool. He or she helps slow down the wave pool so that then you can identify where the leak is. But you couldn't identify where the leak is if the wave pool was wave pooling, if that makes sense. So like there's potential solutions that come from this doctor's ability to slow down the stressors associated with the hormone situation. Will my interview today be successful? Can we know about your interview today? I feel like you stand out amongst the competition. This would be the competition. That's you. I feel like you're real worried about something. 8 of Pentacles, though, would be whatever you plan to say or do in this is the right alignment for what they're seeking. I would say with this zoom in of the regular car with these machines, stick to the basics. Like, don't try and over explain things. Like, give the answer and then don't feel the need to go further and further and further. That would be my only warning here, because the devil's in reverse, so it feels like it's going to go well. Message from the Ascendant Masters. What can we know for you today? This kind of feels like a confirmation of some kind of protection. Like you're seeing a potential issue, but the issue's not going to touch you. But your awareness of the issue is meant to show you that you're protected from the issues from the issue. Like, I don't know. I'm just going to use this card as an example. This is like someone tries to pour bad juice in your drink, but you see it and don't drink it, right? So this is like you're seeing it. It could have became an issue, but because you saw it, it wasn't an issue. So trust yourself to move accordingly when you get those warnings. Message for love. And we know. Feels like you're going to be kind of called to a conversation where you're like, should I say it? Should I not? Should I say it? Should I not? Should I explain it further? Should I not? You going with your gut instinct in that case is the right decision. It helps to rebalance out a situation that feels like maybe you had to hold back before or repress before. Is my third eye opening? I think I'm getting downloads. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Waiting for the deck. All right. What do we need to know about your third eye? So the Fool fell on the ground, 5 of Wands in reverse. This is like the energy of I'm moving forward because I got out of my own way as it pertains. Yeah, the puppet's here. Now you're pulling the strings. You've taken charge over some specific wound or chain of thought that was previously holding you back. So it's like you turned around and faced the shadow and you're like, oh, it's not that scary. So now you're able to kind of take the fog off of your third eye is how I would word that. Is the new male I hear when calling my God? Who is the new male I hear when calling my God? Who is the new male? King of Cups. Did someone pass away recently? King of Cups would be someone with an emotional connection. 3 of Swords, the Lovers. Feels like someone you maybe not a recent passing, but this feels like a male figure that you weren't typically in connection with as a guide, but that has passed sometime during this lifetime. It feels like more recently than not. I feel like an indicator would be that this person didn't have the most pleasant passing. But it does feel like someone who you had some kind of Lovers and King of Cups. It's like I chose to come back and be a guide, and if once you realize who I am, you know the reason. Like it's like obvious. Like you would know exactly what this person is working on with you. Message for this week and a song or token. It's a debit card on there. Debit card. Broken and Beautiful by Kelly Clarkson and a debit card. Message for this week. Broken and Beautiful and a debit card. Sometimes plans fall apart, and not for lack of trying or not even for it not being the right plan. I feel like what this is saying is this week may try your patience. It may feel like you're putting out a lot and not getting a lot of results for that. But it feels like something's breaking purposefully so you can find a different way to put it back together. Not that the first way wasn't the right way, but just that the wisdom you've attained since the first time you tried to put it back together and this time, it'll help you put it back together differently. Yeah, 8 of Cups and 8 of Wands. Slowing down to readdress something before moving forward. Trust your ability to put the pieces back together. Because they're falling in that way for a reason, to show you a different view. Any messages about some guy I met at the gym yesterday? What do we need to know about gym guy? I don't love this. It feels like a false representation of character to avoid something I don't want to talk about. So, like, what are this person's intentions? Hold on. This person doesn't want to bring any conflict, but it's like I'm not really all the way representing myself properly either. I'd be mindful of double checking for truths. Has Luke got undiagnosed ADHD, and would the C medication help him? Would the C medication help him? So Six of Pentacles in reverse would make me think more going out than maybe what's coming in. So ADHD would be like that hyperactive energy. So it's like that's what's going out and maybe not enough coming in to rebalance, right? 10 of Wands would be a burden. So would C medication help him? King of Wands in reverse. I would say maybe that wouldn't be the first option that the provider would give you. There may be something that they would want to try first, like diagnose, try this, and then if that doesn't work, maybe see down the line. But I don't think that they'd immediately jump to that. However, I do think there's something that they would want to look further into in terms of ADHD or a similar diagnosis. Did I manage that situation at home with my sisters okay? I feel I've completely closed down and detached. How did you manage the situation? This is too loud. How did you manage the situation with your sisters? Is there something left undone here? It feels like it's not brought to a conclusion yet, or not brought to a completion yet. Page of Pentacles in reverse. It's like someone's not understanding. 10 of Swords in reverse. Why is that light so bright? Someone's not understanding your intentions still. It's almost like unclear. Sorry, one second. I just knocked over the water. So unclear intentions held back emotions. Unclear intentions held back emotions. Someone else is emotionally detaching from wanting to see things in a different way because there's unclear intentions. So it's not that you didn't handle it fine. It just feels like there's more that needs to be done to bring things to a conclusion or a resolution of some way. Are there any messages from my spirit guides? Any messages from my spirit guides? There's some bit of like either avoidance, disassociation, detaching from something that needs to actually be focused on. Six of Wands, Hierophant in reverse. It's like something in your mind is not wanting to be addressed, but the solution to something external begins with that seed in your mind. So there's a need to sit with what's being avoided because that's where the solution is. Message and a song. I'm Good by Natalie Jane is the song. Sometimes people are not rejecting us or not pushing us away, but they're simply being removed from an obstacle because our guides heard conversations that we didn't. And it feels like this is that. It makes me think of that quote, like you were removed from the table where the host was serving you poison, right? This feels like that. So trust that anyone that recently has or is about to be pulled energetically away from you, it's for good reason. Message from my grandma and a song. Message from my grandma. Unappreciated by Erica Mason. And I almost changed it and I felt called to leave it. Show up for everybody but yourself. There's a need to focus on what you need from you right now, whether that's like your own love language and how to give that to yourself. It feels like there's certain decisions that need to be made that are going to require you to be more present with yourself in order to make them. It feels like with this 9 of Swords, there's a need to kind of take care of the little things so the bigger things are easier to deal with, whether that's sleep, nutrition, hydration. There's this call to really almost care for yourself as if yourself is someone else, because you're very good at caring for others, but sometimes at the expense of yourself. So there's a need to be mindful of that right now. And know that where you put your attention and focus is where progress will be. So be mindful of how much emotional energy you're spending on things that are not leading to progress. Should I take a leap and start a YouTube channel detailing my progress and improving my life? I'm really nervous about putting myself out there and failing. 10 of Pentacles. Magician in reverse. Ten of Pentacles being the first card out would lead me to believe that there is potential for like the buildability of this. Like it can be something that starts from nothing, and maybe the channel doesn't get huge, but maybe you find a lot of fulfillment out of it, or maybe it does get huge. Root chakra, that's where this is coming from, the nervousness about putting yourself out there and failing. Magician in reverse, it's like because in the past, in order to avoid facing the root chakra blockage, you would hide yourself. So right now this opportunity is calling to you as a way to say, okay, I'm going to correct this root chakra imbalance. I'm going to create my own stability, security. I'm going to find a way to make myself comfortable. So this is an opportunity to address that wound, and the root chakra, everything else comes from the root chakra. Like we are, that's our foundation. So I feel like this is an opportunity to improve the overall foundation, whether that's just symbolically and energetically, or it could grow into something. So I do feel like you should. Was the surgeon able to remove all the cancer in my sister's esophagus on Monday? What can we know about, how should I do this? Let's do your sister. Okay, the esophagus issue. Energy between. I feel like there may be a either a little bit more left, or like I feel like if they gave you an honest percentage, they'd be like, okay, we got 98% of it out. Like it feels like there's, because this is like a big crowd. This would be your sister. High Priestess, 9 of Cups in reverse, not all the way fulfilled. High Priestess in reverse would be like, oh, we didn't see that part, or couldn't get to that part. 5 of Cups in reverse would indicate healing. 10 of Swords being reversed is like, okay, but it's not. I feel like there's going to be something else that arises in time, but I feel like for now, things are going to be able to be managed and maintained, but I wouldn't all the way rule out something popping back up. Again, I'm getting the number 98%. A message from my spirit team. Message from my spirit team. Progress isn't being blocked. It's just being slowed down because there's something that needs refocusing. And it feels like there's certain conversations that are going to be had that show you possibilities where you weren't previously necessarily seeing them. So trust that the slowness of something unfolding is actually going to be in your benefit, not immediately, but definitely. Something about important conversations. Message from Jeff and a song. Message from Jeff and a song. Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams. And I was staring at the album cover and I'm like, it's just a person's face. Like, and there's the word reckless on it. Reckless Deluxe Edition. And we have an extra card coming out. There's a need to find a way to give yourself the closure that you won't be able to get from another person. I don't think it's Jeff, though. I don't think it's Jeff saying closure with us. I feel like it's saying like you deserve the closure that you won't be able to get because a situation or person won't allow it. Feels like there's a need to identify the heaviness of lack of closure and find a way to give yourself the space to say what you wish you could have said, but it doesn't feel like it's to Jeff. It just feels like Jeff is bringing attention to it. Dee's energy towards me romantically. Dee's energy towards me romantically. Let's see if I should word it like that. It's like your intelligence is what stimulates this person's attraction to you. But there's also Wheel of Fortune in reverse, like kind of gives like forbidden fruit. Like your intelligence is attractive to me, and I start to go down the pathway of thinking things like that, and then I'm like, oh, can't do that. But I feel like something in the way this person communicates to you would be an indicator of that, if that makes sense. Like you should be able to look at it and be like, oh, that makes sense. Birthday message from higher self. Birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday. Let's get you a birthday song. Letter to Myself by Baz Anji, Bazanji. Hold on, let me see what just fell on the floor. Okay, it feels like you're seeking some kind of clarity that you're hoping that you were wishing to have had by now, right? It's like some kind of direction, some kind of solution. It feels like your birthday present to yourself is that you're going to be creating a solution, not being given one, or being creating the clarity, not being given it, right? So it's almost like going on a bit of like an adventure, but like within. Something this month is granting you a higher perspective that leads the charge on this solution coming from you to you. Oh no, why did this move? Oh, there we go. My friend Teresa had stage 4 ovarian cancer and just completed her second round of chemo. Will she survive the cancer? Will she survive the cancer? I feel like what this is saying and how I'm being called to word it is that for now, yes, like whatever they just did to help her, I feel like that is something that's going to sustain for a while. Because Seven of Pentacles is reversed, so it's like what just happened, what's happening right now. King of Pentacles, it's like the roulette table, like red or black. You made a good bet. They did the right things to combat the issue. And then Ace of Cups would be some riding the waves. There's still going to be ups and downs, but I feel like for now she's in the clear. Is how that feels. Message for me about career choice that has come up. Message about career choice that has come up. Message about career choice that has come up. I would say make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, but it does feel like this is a positive change, or it's something that leads to a positive change. So like it may be more stress than you're facing to get things up and running, or like to make that leap of some sort, but it feels like whatever issues arise, there will be a solution for, and then there will be improvement. It's like almost like your higher self breadcrumbing you towards a better solution that wouldn't exist without the changes. So I do feel like wherever you're kind of being led right now is the right direction. Message from Sean as it is his 19th birthday anniversary this weekend. Let's get a song. I don't think it's this song or this playlist. Hold on. There we go. Curico, the national parks. Hold on. When you reach the end and miss the start, oh, you're in my heart. When you're the teacher but you're being taught, when heaven is your only thought, oh, never let me go. When your life becomes a piece of art, when you watch the light consume the dark. Okay, Devil, Four of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Would there be something that you're hesitant to do that would be like a reminder or like a way to honor him, like almost like you're hesitating if you trust your own emotions enough. Four of Wands in reverse, so the environment of the home, something outside of the home. Devil in reverse, it's actually a release. Don't fear the emotions that come up with this weekend. The Queen of Pentacles, you're grounded enough to handle it. Would there be like a park or something? Like, I don't know if it's like a memory of a park that Sean would be referencing, or like encouraging you to go to somewhere like that where you may hesitate because you're like, I don't know about emotions, but there's like this encouragement towards it. Let me get a token. It's a bullseye, like a target. It's one way to say I said what I said. What is the reason Christian told my husband he is being too submissive in our marriage? What is the reason that Christian said that? What is the reason that Christian said that? Would your husband have said something within the last little bit that it's almost like I've been looking for a reason to regain authority because you hurt my ego in some way, almost like okay, so this would be an example. Your husband at some point in the last few weeks or months says something true to Christian that Christian does not like, but your husband does it in a way that's like objective, like, for example, oh, well, you're not that good at your job, but like in like a way that's like just honest, but it's something that that person held on to. It's almost like this was my chance to be like, got ya. But King of Wands in reverse, does he actually feel that way? I feel like yes, like he does feel the way he said it, but it's like I'm saying it as a get back at you. Like King of Wands in reverse is like you fired me up and I need to have the last word type of thing. Causing issues for you because you caused issues for my mind with me. Is DC serious? Is DC serious? DC serious? DC serious? I don't know if serious is like the right word here. There's more going in to this behind the scenes, and it feels like this person, how do I word this? It's like I'm doing what I have to do to stay afloat. So like, what the word serious? There's more going on than meets the eye. It's like there's seriousness that is still in flow. So like this would be like I'm serious about this, but things are still changing that may change my loyalty to the seriousness I have. That's how I would word that. Hopefully that makes sense. Is AS assisting with what I asked for this morning? Is AS assisting with what I asked for this morning? Would begrudgingly make sense if I said begrudgingly? Like I don't really want to be, but like I have to get something else that I want, or to make something that I don't want to happen not happen. I would say it feels like the answer to that is begrudgingly. So like yes, but like maybe not for proper reason. One more here and then I'm going to go back to the other list. Message for March. Prince Charming. Let's start with that. Prince Charming. What can we know about Prince Charming for March? I don't really feel anything good or bad as relating to Prince Charming in March. It feels like you're not questioning if someone's Prince Charming, but there's not really anyone to question if they are. I feel like that person's not coming in March is what I'd say. Message for March. Lucky Enough by Jez Dior is the song that was playing. That's interesting. Because that is like, oh, the worst didn't happen, but bad happened, and I'm finding the good in the bad, right? And that's kind of what this is too. It's like something that you're waiting for seems to not be happening as quickly as you'd like, but you are approaching it from a different perspective where you're trying to find things to do that are productive in the period of waiting. And that produces some kind of other forward motion, maybe not the forward motion that you were working towards or wanting, but forward motion in another area because you're making good use of the waiting period is how I would word that. Let me go to this list. Will me and my husband be okay? Will me and my husband be okay? I feel like there's going to be a period where you're kind of thrust into action where you don't maybe feel ready for. So it's like things coming up that need to be addressed that maybe there's some hesitancy to address, or maybe some difficulty in getting the tools to address. I feel like it's not going to be easy, but I do feel like whatever difficulties arise can be fixed with action and not hesitancy or like waiting around. So will you be okay? I feel like there's intelligent solutions, but it's not coming without a cost or like some difficulty or some added effort. Will I be having back surgery? What is the likelihood of you having back surgery? The cards will not mix. The cards will not mix. Back surgery. I feel like there's another solution that's going to be tried first. It's almost like they're confident that they can get the results that you need a different way. I feel like they're going to try something else first. What method would best suit me to give deeper readings in my tarot lives? What method would best suit you? Interesting combo. What method? How does that translate to a method? Okay. What method? Hermit, Fool, Hanged Man. Could you do categories of some sort? Like, I don't know if you're having people sending questions, but this kind of reads to me like we're going to do love in the first 20 minutes. Then we're going to go into this for a little bit longer. It's almost like if you connect to a specific energy, you get deeper for that time frame. So maybe addressing categories of questions in groups, or like certain amount of time for a certain amount of category, or like this live is going to be all about this. But I feel like if you break it up into at least 2 things for each would be best. Pattern recognition was actually a question. So why so many repetitive numbers lately? Where can I go for answers? Why so many repetitive numbers lately? It's definitely your guides trying to get some urgency to act. 2 of Pentacles, this is like a little grenade, and this is the Pentacle, right? And this one's like they're looking up at this, juggling it, waiting for that to see if it's going to blow up or not. It's almost like it's almost like happening in a way that's meant to show you where the stressors are. And identifying where the stressors are is going to show you where you were avoiding facing something that could lead to forward action. Sometimes our shadows will bury themselves in normalcy. So it's almost like you're trying to be shown a certain wound that's hidden itself in normalcy, that's causing you to make certain choices or certain patterns that may be holding you back. Kim, let me see if I see your question. I do not. New member, thank you. I'm going to do like 5 from this list because it's piling up, and then I'm going to go back to the other list. The only way to win with a toxic person is not to play. I feel like that's a mindful to be a guide to be mindful about the way that you're holding on to other people's projections at this time and making sure that you're putting them down, not carrying them with you. Random deck, what do I need to know about my love life for the next 7 days? Let's do this one. I haven't used this one in a bit. What do you need to know about your love life? It feels like you're going to be defending yourself or feeling like you need to as it pertains to Eight of Pentacles would be commitment, and it's in reverse. So it's like you're going to feel like you need to defend the fact that you're trying to uphold something or realign something, or, and my ear is ringing as I'm saying this. It feels like an energy of walking on eggshells with yourself. So like you're waiting, like, you know how when you're walking on eggshells, you're waiting for the other person to like freak out. This is like you're waiting for yourself to walk on eggshells, but in a mode of defense. It's like, when am I going to have to defend? That kind of thing. So not necessarily waiting for the other person to freak out, but like waiting to have to defend what you know they know to be true is how I word that. Song and spirit message. Life Like This by AK. It feels like you're getting ready to kind of almost like take off. I'm seeing like a horse being let out of one of those little stable things. It's like you've been waiting, you've been preparing for something. Life Like This song is like stepping up and stepping out or expanding in some way. Queen of Wands is confidence, and the Hermit, Queen, she's literally pointing to the Hermit, which would be you. So something that's off balance right now is off balance so that you don't get too comfortable or complacent, because there's forward movement that's calling to you. So there's a need to kind of be confident in the skill set that's needed for forward progress, because it's happening because you're ready. New member, thank you. Not everyone is your mirror. Sometimes the greatest lesson is witnessing the type of energy you'll never match, embody, or reflect. Sometimes we have people in our lives that mirror what we need to be shown, and sometimes we have people that simply show us that we've healed from a pattern that we used to engage in. So there's a need to know that you're not being shown an example of where you're at now. You're being shown an example of what you've overcome. Messages around Tasha and will she reconnect / song. Will she reconnect? Will she reconnect? Okay, so if this person is still here, like alive, I feel like it's needing to reconnect with self before there's a reconnection. If this person is past, I feel like it's not that this person is not connected. It's just that maybe signs are not being shown. Rome by Dermot Kennedy is the song, which literally says, where is it? Hold on. All these memories run my mind in slow motion. So it's like, not that the presence isn't there, just that it might not be felt, and it's something personal. It's either, if this person has passed on, then it's something blocking you from feeling the person, and if the person's still here, it's something blocking that person from self, if that makes sense. If mom wasn't reunited with family members or her husband, does this mean she went to a different level than them or instantly reincarnated? No tensions I know of. Okay, if so, what did I say? Any tensions or stressors have been alleviated. So what else would that mean if it's not tensions between family members? Fool, 8 of Wands, the Sun in reverse. So maybe not tensions, but disconnect or closeness. It doesn't have to be necessarily tensions. And it is that she's with them. It is something that, a bridge that wasn't fully developed on Earth has been developed in spirit. So like, if it's not tension, then distance. What was that? 5 of Wands in reverse. If not tension, then distance or emotional availability. Maybe if there was like, I wish I could have been closer to this person. So not that she's not with them, because it was that she is. It's like whatever closeness wasn't available here has been established there. Almost like, I don't know, like bygones be bygones, but I feel like that's more towards tension, but it's not tension, but like in terms of emotions, like there is an emotional understanding that wasn't able to be present here. And for some reason that holds some kind of significance or importance. Messages on how the energy work I've done and still need to do will help me land my ideal job by June. Ideal job by June. Overcoming a fear of taking up space or being perceived. How the energy work I've done and still need to do will help me land the job by June. I do feel like with 6 of Wands in reverse, it has a lot to do with like, when you tell yourself you can, you will. And when you tell yourself you can't, you won't. I feel like whatever underlying energy was kind of brewing that tension within you is something that you've been doing energy work on. So I feel like how it will help, how the energy work you've done has helped. I feel like what still needs to be done is stepping outside of comfort zone with like talking about ideas or talking about like things that make you excited. You used to kind of have to dim them down. I feel like the more you can get excited about them and speak about them, the more they pull you forward onto those paths in between now and June. Will the Nashville trip go smoothly? Will the Nashville trip go smoothly? Something with travel, maybe like a hurry up and wait energy. It just feels like there's tension surrounding the travel, but everything else feels fine. 4 of Swords coming out reverse is like, you don't end up getting held up in any way or any major stressor. However, Magician in reverse, 5 of Pentacles, a misrepresentation of how long things are going to take is how I'd word that. Any messages from my spirit family? Any messages from my spirit family? It feels like someone specific that kind of is like, I don't know if like I'll make it up to you is the right thing, but someone who feels like they owe you breadcrumbs, like they owe you direction, they owe you assistance in something. It's like, look for the breadcrumbs that would be from that specific person. They're trying to show you in which way you can kind of take back control over a situation. So almost like a specific sign that would be associated with someone who feels like like they would owe you guidance, like a I won't leave you behind, I'll help you out type of thing. It feels like that. Message from guides and a song. Daisies by Katy Perry is the song. Daisies by Katy Perry. Feels like there's some kind of conversation that you're going to want to run away from, but you're being encouraged to kind of trust yourself to work through it. Like where you previously may shy away from trusting yourself to know when to not defend, but when to engage further and when to back away. Trust yourself, because there's going to be an instant, and feel like the head is lit up there. It's almost like you're being given the divine blueprint of how to navigate this conversation in order to get what you need out of it. So trust yourself in that instance. I'm going to close super chats in a couple minutes when I go back to that list. Let's see if there's anyone I didn't get yet. What is going on with my daughter, Ashlyn? What can we know about Ashlyn? I almost want to start this by saying something doesn't feel as bad as you're fearing it being. This is like, from Ashlyn's perspective, I'm aware of a problem that I'm trying to bring solution to, or I'm aware of something that needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. It feels like awareness is the first step of something, though. A need to, or an awareness of changes that are going to be needed diligently over time. And almost like this acceptance of like needing to do something now, like sooner rather than later. Should I pursue the placement at Heather's place or stick with the other two? Pursue placement at Heather's place. Stick with the other two. I feel like I like the Heather's place a little bit better. However, I do feel like, I don't know, there's something you're walking away from. Would that be job security? Would that be work-life balance? Would that be more money? It's like there's something you need to kind of take a hit on temporarily that can be built back up over time. But I do like Heather's option a little bit better. I almost feel like 5 of Swords in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse. You may have a higher position sooner at the other two, but it feels like there's longer potential for expansion at the Heather's place. I would say make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted before you put 100% stock in something, though. Like, make sure everything is like fully understood about what you're going towards, if that makes sense. All right, let me turn super chats off really quick. I may turn them back on if we have time, but I have to get off at 12 because Gavin has a half day. Okay. Message from my spirit guides. We are coming up on the 10th anniversary of my mom's passing. That's All by Genesis, 2007. You're saying we're coming up on the 10th anniversary. So it's 2005, so that should be right around then. Okay, so what is she? That's All by Genesis. That's All, and Genesis is the beginning of something. That's All. Going back to the beginning of something. Seven of Pentacles and sitting with it. King of Wands in reverse action. Would it make sense if I said to you that she's asking you to rethink a conversation that happened shortly before her passing? It's like there's a key in it that you couldn't have understood then. Like it's something that was meant to be understood now. Queen of Pentacles. Like I left you something of value in that conversation that couldn't have made sense then. The Hermit, her, you. I left you something of value in that conversation. A token. A rose. A rose is something you leave, you give. I left you something of value in that conversation. I feel like you'll understand what that means. It's like needing to re-look at, I don't know, what could have been potentially unintentionally grazed over before in terms of the importance of something small said in a conversation that makes, it's like a puzzle piece. It fits into the puzzle and it makes you realize what that piece of the puzzle is meant to look like. Will the work I've done on myself from my dad's narcissistic wife continue when I move back by them this summer? What energy will I emit around her? Will the work that you've done continue? I feel like you're going to have to keep... I feel like something's going to trigger the need for you to keep readdressing what you've already addressed. So it's like, yes, I've done healing on this, but that doesn't mean that when you push on the bruise, it's not going to still hurt, like energetically. So I do feel like being in that environment or near that environment is going to cause you to have to rework on things you've already worked on because it's being pushed on differently. What energy will you emit around her? Confused about how to protect yourself. It's like, okay, I've done all the work. Why is this still bothering me? I'm trying to ignore this. Why is it still grabbing my attention? I'm trying to be the bigger person. Why is this person trying to pull me down to not the bigger person? It just feels like the energy, I guess I would say, you'll be overthinking more than you would ideally like to. Haven't wanted to talk to them. I've literally blocked them on all levels. Am I being immature or hasty? So blocking them and not talking to them, is that the right option for you or no? Yeah, I feel like right now time is needed. Like you'll know when it's time to change that, but it feels like right now you've done all that you could, which I said it's not brought to completion yet. So I feel like this is saying that what's needed now is time, like, and that's hard to hear. Ace of Swords and the Tower in reverse. It's almost like right now, anything that you do to try to make it better will only make it worse because of the way that the other side is not trying to hear or understand you. So it's like in time, that urgency to defend the narrative in that way will lessen for them and they'll be able to hear you more. But I feel like right now you're doing the right thing to protect your peace, even though it doesn't feel like peace. Is my sister around me? Any signs? So I was about to go to the playlist. I didn't realize I was already in the playlist. Fix You by Coldplay. And see how there's like the little light thingies? I feel like those light thingies is somehow significant to you. Is your sister around you? Any signs? Is your sister around you? Any signs? When you slow down, you can feel me. It's not that I'm not there. See how there's the color and the black and white, and this is like fast movement, and then this is like lack of action. Knight of Wands, King of Wands. Hustle and bustle. When you slow down, you'll know that I'm there. I feel like if you write, like if you kind of jot down what's on your mind, that will help you feel connected to her. And I also feel like music. but you need to be present in the moment to feel her more deeply, is kind of what this is saying. I almost feel like she's bringing attention to be mindful of how you may be busybodying or distracting yourself away from feeling certain feelings and emotions. We have a pyramid here, a light and a dark side to the pyramid. Finding peace in the solitude kind of feels important. I have spinal stenosis, spine operated, did nothing. What is next? What is next for your spine after that really didn't do much? A major change that's more invasive could lead to healing. Something prolonged over a period of time. Spine operated, did nothing. Would there be a different kind of surgery that's more of a risk or more invasive that they would recommend? This kind of gives me the energy of okay, if that didn't work, then we have to try this. And something with like trying this feels more like more invasive, more, if not more invasive, then like something less invasive but spread out over a longer period of time. It does feel like there's a solution. This kind of gives me the energy of like trial thing. Like, you know how they sometimes have like trial surgeries or something like that? This feels like that, but Five of Cups is reversed, so there's an opportunity to heal from it. I would say, I don't know, like medical professional outside of the box. So like I went to this type of professional. Now I'm going to more of a specialized specialist of this alternative solution is kind of how I'd word that. Will I be able to recover financially starting in April? Okay, know about finances starting in April. Finances starting in April. It's almost like you get a little bit of momentum and then you can utilize or capitalize. You get a little bit of momentum and then you can capitalize on that. Are you going to be recovered in April? No. Are you going to be on the direction where you can see how you could get towards recovery? Yes. Is there still going to be some kind of burden? Yes. But are you avoiding things getting worse? Also, yes. So you're not where you want to be, but you're facing in that direction come April. Or you could see where that direction is, where the pathway to that direction is come April. Is Luke going to find the best counselor for him to do online counseling? Best counselor to do online counseling. Confidence, inside the house, Luke. I feel, and they're facing one another. I feel like he's going to find someone he feels understands him and someone he will be willing to let in, like emotionally. So I do feel like he's going to find someone that's going to be a great fit. Have him wanted to talk to them. Oh, I did that one. Who was the main stirrer in that situation? My sis, A or S? A, S. Like they're both kind of responsible for blocking you out or not hearing you out. A, I guess I'd say main stir feels like S. Like I create the narrative. S creates the narrative. A pushes out the narrative. So I guess I'd say kind of equally, but S created it and A stirred it, if that makes sense. Like it feels like it stemmed from S. You know when someone has a bad idea and then someone else runs with it? S had the bad idea and A ran with it. That's how this feels. Song and spirit message from my brother Ashley. Song and spirit message. I was going to change this song, but I feel like this is the song. It's Save You a Seat by Alex Warren. And the next song is Give You Love by Alex Warren. It's kind of the energy of like, is there something important for you coming up? It's almost like he's acknowledging the importance of it and the fact that he's there. Save you a seat. All the people at the table. Four of Wands in reverse. The environment of the home in reverse. Even though I'm not there, I'm there. The Emperor in reverse. There's like this a sign you'll be receiving of Ashley's presence before some kind of upcoming important event. Or maybe not event, but like occurrence of some sort. Shooting star. 82, something within the next 82 days feels significant about that event. Can Ahmad please help me? I've tried. I'll try to remember to repost it on the thing, but I have a video. If you type in how to become a member, it shows you how to do it on the phone. You have to go into like the browser app. I don't know why it's so difficult. I swear it's not me, it's YouTube. But you have to go into like the actual browser app and request the desktop site if it's not working regularly for some reason. Why did Denise turn on me? What caused Denise to turn on you? Caused Denise to turn on you. This is like I said something that was incorrect or wrong or betrayal energy, and then I had to uphold that. It's like I had to keep that same energy, and it caused me just to be pulled in the opposite direction because I had to make it look like I wasn't incorrect with something I said without thinking it through. And almost like my need to uphold my truth made me feel against you because your truth was contradictory to mine, is how I would word that. Any messages from my spirit guides? Any messages from my spirit guides? There are certain things happening right now that feel uncomfortable or feels like you're losing things that felt solid or secure. But whatever's falling away was obstacles blocking some kind of new beginning. And it's almost like it kind of feels like whatever you were holding on to that it was time to let go of, your guides are like forcing your grip to loosen, so that you can walk forward in something that feels to have been calling to you for some time, but you couldn't see the urgency because of distractions. Will my tax due be resolved easily? Will my tax due be resolved easily? No, not easily. I feel like there's I almost want to word this as things, at least stress wise, maybe not like, I don't feel like they're going to increase whatever amount is due, but I feel like stress wise something increases before it ends up getting better. And I feel like it's going to be Judgment, High Priestess in reverse. I feel like the conclusion is further in the distance than you would like. Let me change this playlist 1 second. Hurts to Be Human by Pink is the song that came up too. It's like you're not alone in that frustration. It feels like a lot of people are dealing with it right now. Must I be worried about my daughter? Should you be worried about your daughter right now? Should you be worried about your daughter right now? I mean, if I say yes and no, that means obviously yes, because if there's yes at all, it means yes, right? But I feel like it's not as bad as whatever worst case scenario is, but there is still something that needs to be addressed or like worried about. And I feel like the worry is coming from something that maybe is being considered as a small problem may actually be a medium problem, but I don't feel like it's a large problem. So it's like not worst case scenario, but there is something of concern is how I'd word that. Is there anything going on between D and Tatum? Does he like her over me? Is there anything going on between D and Tatum? Anything going on between D and Tatum? D and Tatum. I would say there's definitely at the very least flirting in conversation. This kind of gives me the energy of like, here's the line. I'm going to walk up to it. Am I going to cross it? Here's the line. Am I going to cross it? That's like that energy. It's like from one way to the other, someone is an ego boost. It's like this person makes me feel good about myself, and there's flirtiness in conversation is how I'd word that. Does he like her over me? Does he like her over me? So I got the Four of Wands, and then I said why. This would be Tatum's side. This would be D's side, or your side. I feel like, I don't know if I would say likes over you, but this is like, I see more long-term potential this direction than that. As in her more attention or more long-term potential her direction than yours. Will my daughter ever realize how her behavior will limit her future before it is too late? Before it is too late. I think I would word this as rock bottom is going to be the most valuable lesson that she will have. So do I feel like it will happen before it's too late? I feel like it will happen in the nick of time. So like you may be like, oh, it's too late. But it feels like there's an opportunity to rebuild, but it's almost like I need to climb up before I can rebuild. So it feels like there is this rock bottom that's significant, but it feels like it happens before it's too late, but there will be difficulty in the rebuilding. Yeah, the Moon and the Four of Wands. It's always darkest before the dawn. Four of Wands would be celebration, but the Moon would be the shadows blocking the celebration. So it's almost like an order. I feel like the only way it doesn't have to get to that much of a rock bottom is if there is a facing of whatever shadow it is that's causing certain choices to unfold as a means of avoiding the wound that the shadow is signaling. Will my mom reach out this month? Will my mom reach out this month? It's almost like something she considers and then doesn't go through with. This is like I type something and then I delete it type energy. But I almost want to say, it feels like there's consideration to reach out because I need someone to like vent to or lean on or complain to or like take out anger on, and then I decide not to. So I almost feel like it may be beneficial that she ends up not reaching out this month at least. One second. How long do you see until I'm offered my dream job? How long until you're offered your dream job? I do feel like you're going to be offered it. I do feel like there's so if you're talking about an advancement in a career that you're already in, I feel like there's the timeline depends on a problem solving instance. So like if you're already in the company that you want your dream job in. It's like you solve a major problem or come up with a solution that's something that someone else couldn't come up with a solution for, and then there's advancement. If you're not in that role yet, I feel like it's, or in that company yet, I feel like you need to get your foot in the company, and then there's a major problem solving incidents that will move you up. So I feel like it's going to be some time here, but I feel like you're gaining the perspective needed right now for that problem solving to unfold. It's like you're gaining the experience that will help you with the problem solving, and the problem solving is what unlocks that door. Who is visiting me outside around 10 every day? Are they affecting my cats? Who is visiting you? Who is visiting you? Well, my first thought is, would you have someone that passed on that would be in the military? If not, it's like someone who is trying to find a way to intelligently communicate to you. Are they affecting your cats? Not in a negative way. I feel like cats are very sensitive to energy. So if the cats are like freaking out or acting in a way that you're like, what's going on? I feel like it's not anything bad. It's just the cat's reading the energy and the energy being present. I don't feel like this is a negative thing. I feel like this is someone trying to get you a message here. Justice is like, it's like there's an intelligent explanation to something that you're lacking clarity on, and something in patterns in how this is showing up is meant to be helping you put the pieces together, if that makes sense. Let me get it. Saturn 101. 101. 101. It's like go the extra mile, it's never crowded. Saturn would be like bringing solution to some kind of battle. Will I get an appointment soon to start the process with radiotherapy for pituitary tumor? I've been waiting for ages. Will you get the appointment soon? Will you get the appointment soon? Not soon. Something's out of balance as it pertains to healing. Is there some kind of representative? Start the process. You want to start the process. Would there be some kind of representation that could kind of not force, but like put urgency on the process? It almost feels like this is going to continue going slow unless you get someone to kind of push them, but not like a friend or family member, like a representative of some sort. Any words from spirit and a song? Numb by Ryan Oakes is the song. I keep running, not sure what it's from. Keep running, not sure what it's from. There's a situation that's unfolding that feels unfair, but the unfairness in the situation is almost like just consequential to what you're meant to be learning. So like, yes, it's unfair, and yes, that is unfair, but like, it's the only way your spirit team could get you to see yourself from a perspective that's necessary to moving forward. So yes, it's unfair, but it's showing you that you are who you say you are, and that you're capable of what you say you're capable of. When will A move? March, April, or another time frame? When will A move? March, April, another time frame. I feel like March is too soon, but plans are being made. I feel like another time frame. It feels like things aren't ready as quickly as they could be. It feels like it takes a bit longer for these seeds to go to fruition. I would say add 3 months to the time frame at least. One second, I'm scrolling. Token. Light bulb. What do you need to think about, consider, or observe? 6 of Cups in reverse. The restriction is in your mind. It's almost like you feel like there's no like there's no A or B to choose from. You're just like, okay, this is, I have to, there's no solution. I need to accept this. There's a solution to that. There's a way to get unbungeed from whatever's holding you back, but it requires thinking outside of the box. My friends want me to start dating. I don't think I could ever find a love like my husband and I shared. I believe he was my soulmate. Was he? Was he? Woo. Okay, so I'm going to word this exactly like I'm getting it, right? Was he your soulmate? Yes. We have this Empress card here. So like this makes me think of like when you're with the right partner, they'll put you in your feminine energy because you feel safe, you feel protected, you feel like you know who you are. Then we have this Star card, which your husband passing would be representative of this Star card. So like when I was here, yes, that's what I was for you. That's what I still am for you. But Page of Pentacles shows rebuilding, right? 3 of Cups would be your friends that are having this suggestion, and 4 of Pentacles would be protection. This to me says, was Fight Song by Rachel Platten just started playing. Like a small boat on the ocean. Hold on. Hold on one second. Like a small boat on the ocean. Where's this card? Come on. One second. Like a small boat on the ocean. King of Cups. I feel like what this is saying is, yes, he was. If you're ready to rebuild, then it feels like what he's saying is your friends are showing you that they will support you and that they won't make you feel like you're wrong for doing that. But I feel like it needs to happen on your timing when you're ready. If they planted the seed, now you have time to think about it, unpack it, get ready if that's what you want. I don't feel like it's something you need to rush into, but I feel like this was almost your husband's way of saying, you know, when you're ready and you decide to, green light. But again, I feel like it's your timing that's important here. The Tower of some sort. I don't know what that one is. Hold on a second. Water Tower, saving up for something big. When you are ready, he will help to bring the right person along. I feel like that's his approval. Would I bring you the right person if I didn't want you doing it? No. All right, one second. What will make my heart symptoms better? Will medicine help? What can we know about heart symptoms? Medicine help. Medicine help. Not that medicine won't help, but I feel like this is saying more getting to the root of what's causing it in the first place rather than masking the symptoms with medicine. Now, obviously, there's going to be some things where medicine's needed, right? So obviously follow the medical professionals. But this to me is saying, like, if medicine is their quick fix, let's give you this and call it a day. Is there a way we could still dig down to figure out what's causing this in the first place? Because I feel like that will help more exponentially than medicine, even if medicine is also needed. Can I please have advice in my relationship and the direction it's going? Advice in my relationship and the direction it's going. Advice in my relationship and the direction it's going. Like I Got It by AK. It feels like you've identified a potential solution. Now it's just seeing if both of you can get on the same page to enact what it's going to take to make that solution last. Four of Cups feels like one of you will be overwhelmed by it. So like, this is like we sit down, or we already have, and we talk about what we need from one another and how to make it work. And we both agree, but then enacting it makes one of us overwhelmed and one of us stressed. So it feels like there's a solution identified that's going to require consistent effort to stay on the same page about the enacting of it. It's going to be a slow process, like a lot of patience required to get the new changes to stick. Alive. Okay, so then if I'm remembering correctly, I feel like this is the one where I said then it's needing to reconnect with the self in order to then reconnect. It's a disconnection with self is how it feels. What message is my soul trying to master in this lifetime, and how am I progressing towards that goal? What is your soul trying to master? Finding the good in the bad and the bad in the good, and the lessons in things that are beyond your control. I don't even want to say surrender. This is just like awareness of what's yours to control and what's yours to control your feelings and emotions to. Finding balance between what happens to you and what you make of it. How are you progressing towards that goal? I feel like emotional mastery and success. I feel like you're finally seeing externally the progress that you've been making internally without being able to see it for some time. Yeah, I answered you yesterday. I'm sending you another message today because yesterday I just said that I will send you a message tomorrow. But yeah, I did get it. What are my Native American ancestors wanting to say? I am not going to read those names correctly, so I'm not going to read them. White Earth Reservation, and a song. Interesting. Fire and Gold by B. Miller. Like an astronaut that's scared of heights, with a heart that's beating at the speed of light, you've been waiting for this feeling all your life. Sometimes it's hard to realize when you're stuck in a moment and your spark has been stolen. This is our time to own it, so own it. I feel like that was the quote they wanted to give you. The Puppeteer, Five of Swords, Page of Swords. There's some bit of like rising to the competition, but I almost don't feel like the competition is other people. I feel like the competition is the versions of yourself that you're trying to prove that you've grown from. It's almost like White Earth Reservation seems to hold some significance, like symbolically, and I don't know what it is. You'd have to look it up, but it's like tracing back the opportunity. I almost want to say to like, I don't know how to word this correctly. The Puppeteer, Five of Swords, Page of Swords, taking back the opportunity. I'm cutting down trees to create the path. Whatever you've already endured. Let me go back to that. Like an astronaut that's scared of heights, with a heart that's beating at the speed of light. You've been waiting for this moment. It's encouragement forward, but there's not a path there. You need to cut down the trees to create the path, but what you've experienced so far has prepared you for that. Is it too late to reach out to my old friend Dee, or is there still good time to reach out to her? I feel like it may take a while for this person to respond back, or you may feel like this person isn't as enthusiastic if they do respond. It feels like that's not a you thing, though. That's more of like whatever they're going through right now that they're carrying with them. Is it too late to reach out to my old friend D? I would say it feels like waiting till next month may be better if you are going to do that sooner. It almost feels like the stressor of something they're dealing with may be a little bit more alleviated to where they may be more receptive next month, but I don't feel like it's too late. Message from my spiritual team and a token. It's a kite, which makes me think of let it go. Kite and Page of Cups. So we have all the way in the sky and all the way under the water. Healing. It feels like there's this alignment taking place, but first you need to identify what was blocking the alignment in the first place. So whatever's arising for you right now that's requiring your attention isn't a sign that you're doing things wrong. It's an opportunity to correct alignment. And you correct alignment by making choices that your higher self would make, even if your current self doesn't feel ready to like branch out or take up space in that way. Take It All Back 2.0 by Judah and the Lion just started playing. Interesting. Why did Denise turn on me? Oh, I did this one. What did I say? What did I say? Denise said something and then had to uphold that narrative. If you go back about 20 minutes, I did this one. I say something and then I have to continue on that path to uphold the narrative so it doesn't look like I was lying or misleading in the first place. And then it becomes this issue with us because your truth contradicts my truth. One more and then back to the other list. Am I starting to lose my job? Am I starting to lose my job? I'm starting to lose my job. I'm starting to lose my job. I feel like someone's going against you that wasn't typically against you before, but it's like confusing as to why. Almost like you wouldn't know to even look for that because you didn't do anything. Am I starting to lose my job? But I feel like it's something that's not going to continue until you lose it. Like it's like something's going on right now that ends up passing. So I don't think losing your job. I think there's just I don't know, because it's also, it doesn't require your action to fix. And it's not going to mature. This to me would be like someone bad mouthing you and someone listening at first and then being like, you know what, you're just trying to start drama. Like it's something like that. It doesn't feel like that exactly though, but it feels like something that builds up and then ends up not going towards anything. Will you end up losing your job? No, and I don't feel like you're going to, at least not in this instance. The final decision would be not to take action on something on your employer's behalf. I don't feel like you're going to lose it. I just feel like something weird's going on behind the scenes that you're picking up on and you're correct about. What does my job look like in the next few months? Any big changes? Any big changes? Feels like some kind of change in leadership that you may not be anticipating that isn't necessarily a good thing. Feels like it brings some kind of stress, but not to you, just not to you specifically, more so to the environment. So like maybe a change in leadership where you don't really get along with that boss as much as you do your current one. But it doesn't feel like that directly affects you or your position, just more of like the energy. Oh, your sister was known for her roses. That's so interesting. I love that. Does the deeper tarot reading style answer have a double variation? Read the discussion about your brain makes sense. Does the deeper tarot reading style answer have a double validation? Does it have a double validation? Defending the unseen. Would the validation be validating one obvious thing and one less obvious thing? Like, yes, it validates this, but if you think deeper, it could also be confirming that. The discussion yesterday about your brain makes sense. I would word it as a working theory. Yes, it makes sense and you're onto something, but keep following that string. There's more down there. So it's not that you're going in the wrong direction, it's just that there's further to go in that direction. Will Allison get pregnant this year? If not, when? Will Allison get pregnant this year? It's March, the beginning of March. I'm not confident this year is the right way to word it. I do feel like it's going to happen. But I would say more in between a year from now, and it's March, April, May. In between a year from now, so March to May of that time frame feels more likely than in a year. So March to May of, what would that be? 2026 feels more significant. Or would it be March to 2026 and May to 2027? In that time frame feels more significant. I would go with that longer time frame, the second one I just said. Are we seeing the stage set for the downfall of the stock market so crypto is officially ushered in? There's intelligent plans, or there's plans that people believe to be intelligent, to create changes we don't see coming so that the stage is set for that. So this is like, are we seeing the stage set for the downfall? It's like a step earlier than that. There's more that has to be brought to the stage before the stage is set, but we're seeing the equipment being loaded to set the stage, is how I'd word that. Will Judge Canone dismiss Karen Reed's case? What's the likelihood of the judge choosing to dismiss the case at this point? Hierophant would be the court. It's reversed. And as opposed to the court showing up as justice here, I feel like the court's showing up as the Hierophant because now the court has more knowledge of what's going on behind the scenes than they did the first time. So the first time would be justice. This time is the Hierophant because they have more knowledge than they did then. 8 of Cups in reverse, Hierophant reverse. They're still not doing anything about it though. Or she's not. 4 of Cups. It's almost like she keeps moving the marker of burden of proof. Like, okay, typically the marker's here, but because I already made that decision, let's move the marker a little bit. Let's see if you can meet this marker. Okay, let's see if you can meet this marker. It's like it keeps being moved further out. I don't feel like at this point now. I feel like it's getting even closer to a point where it's like, how are you not? And then that marker keeps moving. Oh no, I'm glitching. I even have a Wi-Fi extender literally in my room. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with that. And you were kicked out twice? What the heck? And I have full bars too. I'm gonna try and figure out what's going on. I'm sorry, guys. Random keys were found on my husband's car yesterday while on the road. Any message around this? What are the keys symbolic of something? Okay, so something left that has value. Higher perspective. Something left that has value towards a higher perspective. So keys being left on a car. Keys, magician, communication, being left on a car. 5 of Pentacles, locked out of something on the outside of a car. Would there be some kind of message where you were asking for an answer or asking for a solution or asking for a clarification? It's like the keys are symbolic of, so they're outside the car. 5 of Pentacles is being locked out from something. The keys being left there on purpose. 6 of Swords in reverse. Something of value. It's like a message from the spirit realm of trust that the answer for what you feel like there is no answer for is going to be shown in time. More of like a confirmation of sorts. 2 bells. 2 bells. Makes me think Christmas. 5 plus 6 is 11. In between November and December is when that answer that you're waiting for is going to come. That's the divine timing on it. Message from Wilma about my grandfather, please. I'm going to stay on about 5 more minutes and then I have to go collect my child from school. He has a half day. Message from Wilma about my grandfather, please. Message from Wilma about my grandfather, please. I kind of want to highlight pure intentions, but not a full understanding of something. Like, I guess I'd say, for example, Wilma would be highlighting someone who made the best choice or decision they had with the information and knowledge that they had at the time. But now with additional clarity, there's almost like this what? Rebalance. Would it make sense if there's some kind of like apology or some kind of like, I wish I could have said it then. I'm acknowledging that I should have said it then now type of thing. It feels like there's some message like that coming through. Will Turtle Boy have his case dismissed or sent to jail on the new charge? Dismissed? I don't think dismissed, no. 3 of Pentacles in reverse, 8 of Swords, like someone trying to make a what's that called? Make a point out of him. The person on the other side refusing to let it go to make a point. Go to jail on the new charge. Go to jail on the new charge. Go to jail on the new charge. Jail. Is there another potential solution besides jail? Like fines, probation, some I don't know, like something that allow like a business license revoked, something like that. It feels like there's something else that happens besides jail. Although I wouldn't put jail out of the question either. Is it possible to get something deferred? Like, I don't know. It's like something's pushed out or pushed back. I don't feel like jail is immediate, but I feel like it's not all the way off the table. But I feel like there is some other kind of consequence. It's not dropped either. Song and a Token. Can't Be Broken by Lil Wayne is the song. Can't Be Broken. 8 of Wands. Can't Be Broken. Planning, let in, communication. I almost want to word this as there's going to be a need to have a difficult conversation, but that's how progress is made. I love you on a note with number 88. Having a difficult conversation allows things to get back into alignment, and it's actually going to be more like you'll be able to handle it better than you're maybe anticipating. Is all of YouTube glitching or just me? Can someone check and see if it's just me? What the heck is going on? Why is Steven so angry all the time? Why is Steven so angry all the time? I feel if I'm Steven, I feel like I've rushed into certain choices that now define the trajectory of my life. And there, I feel like I wish I could have made other choices, but I'm trying to find blame in other things besides me about why I made those choices. Four of Swords in reverse. It's like actions that I took worked against me, but I don't want to accept the blame for the choices. And that affects the way that I deal with people and the world. Oh, she should have told. Okay, that makes sense. Why I was like, would it? That makes a lot of sense, actually. She should have told you all. That trapped, but she should have told you all, but it held back. Why am I so tired? Is it upgrades? My body was vibrating last night. Why are you so tired? Why are you so tired? I would word this as you know that there's a major change coming and you're anticipating anything that could go wrong in that change so that you can alleviate any road where'd that word go in my brain? Speed bumps before they arise. You're trying to make sure the coast is clear, I guess I'd say. So it feels like almost like you're viewing a situation from the perspective of your higher self so that you can help your current self get any barriers out of the way before they'd be able to arise. So why are you so tired? Your brain is like going on this adventure of higher self to current self, higher self to current self, because you need to get the perspective and then bring it down and translate it. So it feels like there's a lot going on in like the preparation planning stage that may be happening subconsciously, yet still draining your energy. Commercials. Hold on. Did I mess something up? Oh, I think I might have done that one. Okay, that should be off now. I know it's the last 5 minutes, but what is going on? I wonder if that's what's causing the freezing. That's weird though. They're usually auto is off. Okay, message from A, please. Message from A. Four of Pentacles, protection. Knight of Swords in reverse, lack of communication, lack of conversation. Five of Swords, fight, battle. This is like, trust that the conversations you want to have right now because you want to be heard out and say your piece aren't actually in your benefit, because Five of Swords is someone who's not going to be willingly listening to you. So I feel like this is a clarification that time is needed right now with the situations we talked about, because it's for your protection. Lack of conversation is for your protection because the conversations would just be arguments and not conversations. Who is whispering in Brandon's ear? Ooh. Who is whispering in Brandon's ear? Who is whispering in Brandon's ear? Someone that was someone who has passed on. It feels like there was maybe some disconnect towards the end of this person's life before they passed on, but Nine of Cups is someone that's been in the home or someone that was close to this person or you. So this feels like someone who passed on who was closer when it wasn't the end of life, as opposed to maybe they had like a difficult passing or like an illness towards the end of life. Should I seek financial help from family? Will they help? Should you seek financial help from family? Will they help? I would word it as, it doesn't hurt to ask, but I don't know if they'll be able to help you as much as you would need, but they may be able to give you something that could help to alleviate some stress, but I don't feel like they're going to be able to help as much as you need help with. King of Pentacles is kind of like rolling the dice here. Knight of Swords in reverse. I feel like they may be able to help slightly financially, maybe not significantly, but I also feel like, I don't know, like there's this energy of you feeling like, what are they not saying to me that they wish they could say? Like it's this feeling of like questioning how emotionally supported you are, because it almost feels like they want to say something they're not saying. I would say it doesn't hurt to ask, but don't expect that to solve all of the problems, is how I'd word that. Message and song from Spirit. Brand New by Henderson is the song. Brand New by Henderson. This is kind of giving new levels, new devils. It's like something that a challenge from the past is showing up in an upgraded way so that you can identify that it's a similar challenge to what you've already outgrown, and you can choose to handle it and not be knocked down by it. So something that in the past would have tripped you up, now you can just walk over it, but you need to identify it first so you don't trip over it. New levels, new devils. Don't allow yourself to be tricked into complacency, is how I'd word that. If something doesn't feel fulfilling and just feels manageable, seek the fulfillment out of the option. Yeah, I don't know why the ads weren't. I turned them back off. Did my father-in-law visit us the night after he passed? Did my father-in-law visit us the night after he passed? Lack of action, not leaving, staying with the family, the light in the darkness. I do feel like there was a very specific moment when someone realized it was his energy. I would say, yes, this is like, I'm not leaving yet. I'm staying with you. I don't know what that is. Hold on. Number 44. Topiary tree, Topiary tree, refined, refining oneself, artful self-care. Refined. I'm not there in body, I'm there in spirit. I would say yes. Not leaving yet, not taking action yet. 10 of Wands in reverse on the bottom of the deck. It's like someone specifically really needed to feel his presence is how I would word that. All right, last one, then I have to go get Gavin. Would it benefit me to research the brain subject in regards to creating more ease in my process? Brain. So I would say the brain subject, it feels like what you're researching or what you're being guided to dig into in said research would be clarity on the process. More ease in my process. More ease in your process. But more ease in your process comes from understanding the process of something in regards to the brain that you need more clarity on. So I would say yes. Okay. Your daughter's doll just randomly said bye-bye. I wonder if it was her then that he felt like needed that presence from him, or maybe like through that you. But yeah, I knew there was a specific moment. I guess that's the moment. Let me get a song to go with that, actually. Save the Last Dance for Me by the Drifters. What was that word that I used? Hold on. Refining oneself. And I said in spirit instead of body. Save the last dance for me. Yeah, I would say he's definitely trying to go above and beyond to confirm that. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Gavin does not have school tomorrow, so I don't know if I will be on tomorrow. But I'll be back on probably Monday or Tuesday, probably Monday. Thank you to my mods. Mods, remember it's a new month, so you can send in your readings. I'm very behind on emails. I'm hopefully catching up tomorrow at some point. And I will talk to you all soon.